Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my third video in my back to school series, and that is going to be my how to make the team / basketball life hacks video. Basketball season in school tends to start late November, early December, so I'm giving you these life hacks a little bit early, that way you can practice them and enhance them before tryouts and before the season starts. As a basketball player, these life hacks are essential. They can be useful for anyone who has been playing since they could walk, and anyone who decided yesterday that they wanted to give this basketball thing a shot. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first life hack is to look at the girl's hips that you are defending. So what I mean by this is when you're on defense, your main goal is to stop the other team from getting to the basket and scoring. So when you're in your defensive position, looking at her hips instead of her feet will allow you to see very well which way she's going to go, because normally when you go somewhere, your hips go there first before the rest of your body goes there. It's easier to tell when they're faking and when they're actually going another direction. The second tip is also for defense. So when again you're in defense, and this is mainly for zone, not man-to-man. In zone, your main purpose is to protect your zone and to protect the basket, essentially. Normally, I am on the right block. One thing that I do that tends to help me is using my fingers as pointers. So basically what I do is I point at the ball and I point at the girl that seems like she's in my zone area. That way, I have my eye on the ball and on the girl. That way I can see very clearly where the ball is and where she is. That way if they pass to her, I can get there very quickly. It helps me isolate the two things that I'm really trying to keep my focus on, and that just helps me. Because in basketball games, if you've played it in a game before, you would know how distracting and how hectic games can get. So my third life hack is if the gym you're playing on is still a little bit slippery and you tend to fall, because I've played on courts where I'm slipping and sliding everywhere, or even at practice when they don't wax the floor sometimes, I'm just like, I'm trying to go somewhere and I'm sliding too far out, you know? So one life hack is to, when you have your shoes, pretend my hand is a shoe, you go like that and get all the dirt off of the bottom of your shoes, and that should help you get a little bit more grip on the floor. That way you're not sliding left and right when you're on defense or even when you're on offense. My fourth life hack is for free throws. All of us have been fouled at least once in a game. If you already have a method and it works well for you, don't change your method to this, because then that might mess you up. But if you're someone who doesn't have like a ritual when they're doing free throws, this can help. So when you're on the free throw line, first you want to make sure that you start low. That's what helps me. And then you want to think of it as a wave. So what I do is I bounce 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I grab it, I hold it like you hold a ball. I start low, I go up, and you want to think of it as a wave. Once you pick up the ball from your dribble, you're going. Because if you stop, then you start to overthink it, and then you could end up pushing the ball to the left, too far left or too far right, and it's not in the center. And this is what helps me get the perfect shot. Life hack number 5, I recommend only doing this if you know that the refs don't call every little thing a foul. This helps, I guess, for if the person you're guarding is taller than you or slightly more aggressive than you. So to make sure that their teammates don't even think about passing the ball to them, what I do is I kind of turn this way. I put my left leg in front, and then I put my hand like this. That way the other team thinks twice about passing to the person that you're guarding, and that way it's easier to like kind of smack the ball out of the person's hands if need be, because sometimes, you know, girls are, you don't want to get hurt because the girl is just doing the most. So that's just a life hack that actually tends to help me. And one of the girls, well, funny story, when I did this life hack, one of the girls was getting so annoyed because no one was passing the ball to her because I was defending her aggressively. She actually told me to fuck off. Okay, so this is not a life hack, but it's just a general tip And it's not even just for basketball, it can be for any sport if you do multiple sports. Always bring like a granola bar or a protein bar that you can eat before games. If you eat too much before the game or if you don't eat enough before the game, you can end up either feeling sick or getting dizzy, and you don't want all of that when you're playing a game. So number 6 is a life hack for people who are just starting basketball. So it's basically the square that is on the backboard. So that square is there for a reason. It's not just there to make the hoop look pretty. So basically when you're going up for a layup, I have long legs, so I have long strides. But basically you want to take about 3 steps, and then when you get there, you pick up the ball and you want to hit the corner of the backboard. Your layups will go in 99% of the time. Life hack number 7 isn't really a life hack, but it's kind of a tip again for newer players. When you're on defense, I have a lot of defensive life hacks. You want to make sure you're between the girl and the basket. You don't want to be behind her because then you're basically not defending her, you're kind of just following her around. So like make sure you're in between the girl and the basket and you're not standing behind her because then you're basically useless. The final life hack number 8, may seem like common sense. With your elite socks or your basketball socks, whatever you call them, put the one sock inside the other sock. That way you're not rushing to find socks, and that way you can have your matching socks together. Okay, so now I'm gonna give you guys 4 tips for tryouts that will help you stand out and help you possibly make the team. These will not 100% guarantee that you will make the team, but they can at least boost up the percentage that you actually can make the team. So the first day and all days of tryouts, make sure you try and get to the locker room as quickly as possible at the end of your class. That way you get the gym early and you set a good impression for the coaches, because I know the coaches' pet peeves is when, especially the girls, because we tend to take a while to get dressed up for practice, is someone who takes forever to get dressed up and ready for practice. And also during basketball season, if you make the team, you can get there and you can like lay and take a nap while everyone is still getting dressed, so you can take a quick break before practice starts. Tip number 2 for tryouts, most coaches are teachers at your school. I know some coaches are either they teach at another school or they're not teachers at all, but at my school, the majority of the coaches are teachers at the school. So if you can get to know the teacher, that may help you at tryouts, because they'll be like, oh, she's in my class, she's a good student. Or he's in my class, he's a good student, and that may boost your ranking at tryouts just a little bit. Also, you have to work on skills. You can't just take these tips and be like, nah, I don't have to work on my skills. You also have to work on your basketball skills, so yeah. The third tip is try not to complain and give 110%. Yeah, I know at tryouts, the coaches can be a little bit crazy. At tryouts last year, I actually thought my legs were gonna fall off. But try your hardest not to complain, and if you're gonna complain, mumble it under your breath or say it in your head. If you're complaining, then the coaches are gonna look at you and be like, oh, this one likes to complain a lot. She's gonna complain about every single little thing we do. And then also giving 110%, that shows them that you're willing to give effort, even if you're not the best rebounder or you're not the best free thrower. If you're showing that you're willing to give that much effort and you can show that you can improve, that can still help you make the team. And the final tip for tryouts is don't try and act like you know everything if you are confused. If you're confused, just ask for help. If you ask for help, it shows the coaches that you're willing to learn and that you don't act like you're Miss Perfect and that you know everything. It will also make sure that you actually know what you're doing during drills. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for any of you who are possibly going to try out for basketball this year. If you want me to do more basketball videos, like things basketball players do, day in the life of a basketball player, something like that, or a vlog of a basketball game, or anything like that, just let me know down below in the comments and I will try my best to do that. Also, if you have any offensive life hacks, please put that down below in the comments. I forgot to put quite a few offensive life hacks, so I mainly put defense, and I'm really sorry about that, but I was mainly thinking about defense when I made this list. I do KPD, regular beauty, fashion, K-pop, and random videos. So if you enjoyed those types of videos, please hit the subscribe button down below so you can see more videos from yours truly. Also hit that little bell button next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every single time I upload a video and you won't miss any uploads. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies!
어떤 말도 너를 대신할 수 없는 걸 필요 없을 걸 표현할 수 없는 걸
당장 필요 없어 그저 너만 있으면
다른 어떤 것도
그래 너만 있으면